don't think you need to come up more this way. I don't think you're going to be on camera there.
I am on camera.
Oh, can you see there? Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Yo,
here we go.
You can live.
Well, we're live. Welcome everybody to the Sixth Gear channel. Just let me know if everybody can hear us. Just hit a comment there. And and then we just check. Just give us 2 minutes. We're just working out some stuff.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, man, technology always works. Sometimes, isn't it?
When does it?
But yeah, man, it's good to be here. So we're just working with this technology, trying to get it to work. But hopefully, it's going to be good. I'm just looking forward to this. It's the first time we're doing it, so be kind to us, all right? Especially me. Don't worry about your brad. Just be kind to me. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just having a video issue.
Is it a bit glitchy? I suppose what I would ask the audience, if you're already out there, could you give us a thumbs up or give us a comment down below just to let us know if you can hear us okay?
Yeah.
Are we coming through okay, or is it glitchy? What is it doing? Because obviously we're kind of new to the scene, man. Give me a car any day and I'll open it up for you, but don't tell me to start looking at a camera. Stop with that.
Okay, I think it's sorted out. All right, so
Good
let's
to be
get
here.
into it. Yeah, so welcome everybody again. Basically, if you've seen our channel, we are Six Gear Garage. We're based in the UAE. We do a lot of car content. We just do some restoration, some mechanical stuff. We're also filming and showing you around the scene as well. The car scene to be exact, because UAE, I'm sure you've seen the videos. You got guys with Lambos, Mercedes, all these supercars and all that. So it's a good thing. So yeah, just hit a comment. Tell us where you viewing from. Just give a shout out and just make sure everything is okay with the stream. If you can hear us, if not, just write a comment as well. But yeah, we're gonna carry on at the moment. Right, guys. So welcome. So we got Z to my left, and we got Shabraz on the
Far left.
Far right. If you can see some of the thumbnails with him being shot and stuff, yeah, that's him right there. That's the guy in person. But yeah, so guys, let's get into it, right? So let's just talk about the UAE car market, man. What is it like out there right now? What is it like to be in the UAE, checking out all of these cars? So
I think I'll go in there immediately, man, and I'll say I'm a bit of a car fan.
We're all
Was for me was just one of the best things I could do in terms of checking out the car scene, because I don't think, and obviously I've been to different parts of the world, but I don't think there are people who love their cars more than the UAE masses. People out here love cars, and they love cars from, your generic sort of Nissan Sunny, all the way up to your Lambos and your Rolls Royces and your how do you pronounce that word? Brabus.
Yeah.
Man, I love that car, by the way.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, man.
Their body kits are just to another level, aren't they?
They're insane.
You know it's a Brabus when you see it driving past you.
And when you hear it driving past, you know what I mean? So yeah, the car scene here is mad, and we're gonna talk about from like I said, your generic Nissan Sunny, the car that's used by your everyday fella like myself. We'll be using that because it's petrol friendly. It's good for petrol.
Yeah.
It's
cheap to run,
cheap to fix.
Goes on forever.
Spare parts are easy to come by.
Yeah.
You've got your Toyotas, and then you start going up that market, and you've got your luxury cars. You've got your Mercedes Benz, your Audis, which are more sporty, I suppose. The Audi's more sporty, although it's got luxury as well. And then you've got, you go up, and now you start getting into what the locals love. The Emirati population, they're into their 4x4s.
Yeah.
you know, where we're talking about what kind of cars are we talking about, Shabazz, when we're talking Emirati scene?
Emirati scene. So their main thing is Japanese. So you've got your Lexuses, which are normal, the old school pimp mobiles, if you want to call them, the big square ones.
Yeah.
They love them. Me myself, I've got a thing for them as well. I like them for a long motorway drive. They're perfect.
Yeah.
The cruise control on, you sit back. It's like we're literally sat on the sofa and you're on the road driving around.
Yeah.
And then what they really love is their 4x4s.
Yeah,
So
man.
you've got your Nissan Patrols, you've got your Lexus 570s, 470s, yeah.
Don't
The
forget
V-
the Land Cruisers as well.
Obviously, I was coming to that. You can't miss a Land Cruiser, yeah.
You can't miss a Land Cruiser.
That's
When
what
you're
I do.
talking,
Yeah.
when you're talking Emirati, you can't miss Land Cruiser.
Yeah, obviously the Land Cruiser. Then you've got one level, I'd say, below that. Probably your Mitsubishi Pajeros
Pajero.
and all the different variations of them.
Well, what about I've seen a lot of the Ford Broncos, the Ford, those Ford FJ Cruisers.
Yeah, the FJ Cruisers.
FJ
is-
Cruisers,
yeah.
Those ones are,
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very popular.
Very popular for the desert. You can do some crazy mods to them in terms of suspension, engine, all sorts. And they're probably, I would say, one of the favorites what people take out onto the desert to tackle the dunes. You can put a roll cage in there, so it's like stiff as anything. And yeah, just do some madness on the sand dunes.
What have you seen, like, I'm going to ask you, what have you seen, like, when the guys have gone out onto the desert? What kind of stuff have you seen? Like, I know you talked about the roll cages on the on the FJs and the Pajeros. But what kind of stuff, I mean, you know, what kind of stuff have you seen?
Probably, I'd say one of the maddest ones is like the suspension jobs that they do on them.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine a car that's just sat normally as it comes out from factory, all those springs and suspension mods and everything, you throw them out and you just put a whole load of extra aftermarket suspension rings and coils and whatever else onto there, and it'll basically just jack the car up, give it an extra, I don't know, half a meter height.
Height,
So
yeah.
you've got a lot of ground clearance. Then you do a few mods underneath the bonnet to just basically give it a boost. So when you're climbing up the dunes, the car is not stopping, it's just flying up.
And do you know something?
And
That
then obviously, sorry,
No,
and then
it's good.
obviously the tires.
Yeah.
You need proper desert tires.
Yeah.
So your normal road tires, what you've got as you're driving around on the road, they are not going to do anything on the desert.
Yeah.
So obviously you need bigger grip, and the main thing what everyone doesn't realize is you need to let the airflow out of them. You need to decompress them, so there's basically more tire
Surface area.
Yeah, it is covering more surface area,
Yeah, man.
and yeah, just fire away after that.
And do you know what I love, man? I went to Liwa last year. Liwa, guys, is an amazing place. I spoke about it in one of our videos here. It's a huge scene for 4x4s. You know, that's where you talk about all types of. If you want to go and see cars, come to Liwa. It's around November, December time, and it's mad. It's insane. But anyway, having gone to Liwa, it's all good when you see these cars during the day. They're mad, crazy. And then at night, the lights come on. They put the lights under the wheel arches. They put the lights inside the car. They put the lights everywhere. And then you've got these floodlights. I'm talking about different color lights under the wheel arches. Now, for some people, that might be cool. Some people don't like it. They think it's a bit tacky.
Yeah.
But it's horses for courses. You know, different people, different folks, different strokes. That's what people like.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get at here is that there's a wide range of stuff, and everybody is catered for in the car scene in the UAE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole wide range, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like from sports to your everyday usage and everything in between, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick a favorite, which one would you pick? Like in terms of the vehicle make, the build that you want to do, which one would you pick?
For me, I'm more into the road racing scene rather than the desert side. Don't get me wrong, the desert side I do enjoy. It's nice, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've been on a couple of desert safaris, and some of the angles that those cars go on, it's a bit nauseous for me. It's not my kind of thing.
So you know the bumps.
The bumps are alright, but some of the
It's the
angles,
angles.
and then you're looking out the window and you're thinking, whoa, you
it's
know
a
what,
long way
that's a drop,
down,
yeah,
man.
that's a drop there, and that car just goes like that. Oof. But yeah, so for me, personally, it's more of the road racing scene. So You're giving me a.
It's a tough one,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Just pick
For
one.
me,
Pick,
for
like,
me,
if
for
you
me,
had to pick one.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it would be a. It's got to be. Can I pick two?
Okay, pick two.
All right.
Only should
I have to. It's a big thing. It's a big, wide circle.
Provided
Yeah.
one will be part
So
of-
for me, it would be either the Nissan GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to. You have to for road racing. You have to throw that in there. It's like it's one of the daddies out there.
Yeah.
And obviously you wouldn't leave it stock. You'd have to do some mods underneath just to get the full potential out of that engine.
But you can't take the Nissan GTR off-road, right?
No. This is just for strictly street racing. Yeah. So a car to mod is to race on. When I say street racing, I don't mean racing around on the motorway or on the normal roads or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. Definitely not. I'm talking about going to a racetrack or a speedway and just putting your foot down and let it rip.
Yeah.
So for a car to mod and to do that with, I would say the GTR.
Yeah.
For a car that just you can get from out of the showroom and to do that with, without having to do anything else, yeah. My personal favorite would be the Porsche 911 Turbo S.
Ooh,
That would be the one.
my guy.
Yeah.
My guy.
For that, I wouldn't do anything to it. I'd just take it out of the showroom and just take it for a drive onto the racetrack, do whatever you need to do, drive home.
I would love to do that, bro. But if I had a Porsche 911 GTS Turbo, I'll just start it and hear the sound and turn it on.
And then turn off and go to bed.
You know what? Just saying that, all Porsches, I don't know if you know, they all come with the rev limiter.
Yeah.
So when you start it, it's only going to rev to like 3,000 revs, and it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It doesn't sound all
I
that.
love that. Like,
It does not. Honestly, it does not sound all that.
Yeah.
But once you're in there, and you put it into D or you put it into manual mode,
then you go.
then you go. You
Then
go
you
like
go.
anything else.
I feel you.
Yeah.
And what about you, Z? What would you like to see on the road or off road?
My guy.
Something that you would want.
I was waiting for this man. I spoke to him, man.
So you got pick two.
I got pick two now.
Two.
All right, so on a serious note, so when I first came out to the UAE, I'd always been a Toyota guy because when I was working as a mechanic, I worked for a Toyota garage, and I was introduced to the Toyota Land Cruiser, and especially the Japanese spec. They are so comfortable. They're beautiful. The Land Cruiser is one of the most beautiful cars I've ever faced. I've ever looked into. I've ever sat in. And when you take it for a test drive, you know it's got turbo. It's got massive engine. Most of the ones that I used to work on were diesel, but over here you get a lot of petrol ones.
Yeah.
And I love that. I absolutely love that. So if you,
It's all about the V8.
It's all about the V8.
All about the V8. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to buy me a car, just drop me a message
We
on
are
my
taking
phone.
donations.
You know what I mean? Just buy me a Land Cruiser, anything. But then if you ask me what car, given a choice, I know I'm a family man, but given a choice of a car that I would love, a dream car for me, it's got to be the Aston Martin Vanquish. Yeah, the Vanquish. I do.
So you're undercover James Bond, yeah?
Listen, don't you see it? It looks baby. I'm joking. But I am a bit of a Vanquish lover. I love the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful car. I love the speed. I love the way it looks. I love the power on it. And obviously, having seen it on James Bond and what it does with it, it's a beautiful car. Love it. That's my dream car.
So, like a lot of these guys in the UAE, those that have the supercars, I mean, there's different meets out there for them. There's
Before you get into all that, what about yours?
Yeah, man. I was trying to go undercover on this.
Okay, in terms of Lamborghini Aventador, any day,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
But in terms of something I can do up, build, and just purely enjoy, buy it and never sell it to a single person ever again. Nissan Skyline GTR R34, bro.
Skyline is
Oh, the
dope.
one before, right?
Yeah, Skyline is dope.
R34.
Skyline is dope.
R34. R34 is the one that.
Yeah.
That's
That's the one. Yeah.
I mean, you buy it not to sell, you buy it to keep, make your wife angry, that sort of thing.
Definitely. Not that she needs to any.
She's an excuse.
At the traffic light, do your things, bro. Push it, make sure everybody's looking at you, and then drive 80 kilometers on the road, bro. But that's the car I would want. I'll get it in the future,
A friend of mine had one that was back in Zimbabwe. He loved the skyline. It's beautiful. That's one with the round
Yeah, those
taillights.
ones have those two circle lights.
Yeah, man, that's the one.
The Need for Speed one.
That's it.
What Paul Walker had.
That's the one.
That's
It's a
blue
little
Paul
car.
Walker's not Need for Speed, bro.
Not Need
No,
for
no,
Speed.
Get your
Fast
franchises
and
in
Furious.
order.
Fast and Furious, bro. Fast and Furious.
All these computer games going through.
Yeah. Fast
Furious.
and Furious. That's it. Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Yeah, but like a lot of the guys that own the supercars here, there's a lot of meets out for them. People
Yep.
like to show off their cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a culture.
Yes.
It is.
100%.
I've been to one. There's one video on our channel. Check it out. It was like a normal weekly meet at Alpha Sun.
Yep.
Yeah, that video was out. So just check it. You can see some of the cars. They got some classics, some new school, some old school as well. So
It's a good mix of everything, isn't it?
good mix.
Old, new, in between.
In the UAE, you got a very vibrant culture in terms
Yeah.
of cars.
Yeah. Totally.
They like the new stuff, the old stuff, the classics, the old muscle.
Oh, they love the
cars,
classics. They do.
Yeah,
They
so
do.
it's quite interesting to see. Like it depends on the person as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think while you're on that, I just want to say, guys, the UAE is a place when I've looked at it, it's a place where they get the best of kind of everything and they put it here, and they love the best of whatever country has to offer. So and one of the things that they've loved, obviously, the American scene. The American scene, everybody knows the American scene is muscle cars.
Yeah.
If you're talking 4x4s, they love the big trucks. If the Rams, the Dodge Rams, the
Chevys.
GMCs, and they love that.
Escalades.
The Escalades, they love that.
Yeah.
And then the reason, and also another thing is they've got amazingly beautiful roads.
Yes.
So
There's not a pothole inside.
there's not a pothole inside at all.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, if you've got your really good car, you can drive and be happy. And if you've got a big car,
Yes.
the roads are good for you.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe the only place where the big cars have a problem is when you go into like malls and you have to park in the underground parking. But otherwise, on the roads and out and about, they're beautiful, and the sound of those cars are just gorgeous. Yeah.
So while we're on the subject of cars, right, and supercars, normal cars, whatever, like the bulls, where do we buy them? How do we look for them? Where do we buy them? How do we source them? So you guys can give some insight on that as well.
You give loads of
Definitely.
insights into that. For me personally, how can I compare? So I can only compare to the UK market, which I'm pretty familiar with.
Yeah.
So you have in UK we've got Auto Trader. You know Auto Trader.
Auto Trader, yeah.
Do you have like an equivalent of that in South Africa?
Yeah, we have
Auto Traders there, yeah.
Same thing, yeah.
Same
Okay.
Yeah.
So the equivalent of that over here is Dubizzle. I suppose Dubizzle is more of a cross between eBay and Auto Trader, because you've got everything on Dubizzle. It's not just cars, but it is. There's a wide range of cars. People are advertising. You've got private sellers. You've got dealers on there. You've got actual dealerships on there.
Yep.
So that's probably the biggest
Marketplace type thing.
virtual marketplace for to find a car.
Yeah.
Along with Facebook Marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
again the same thing where you've got private individuals, you've got dealers on there, you've even got dealerships on there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then other than that, it's just your normal physical showrooms. You've got what you've got and what you have here, what we don't have in the UK, is like basically a whole designated area, just where you've got like a million different showrooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just-
They call them like designated zones here.
Designated
You get
zones.
industrial zones, you get the different different commercial zones.
Yeah.
That's it. The commercial
Yeah.
zone.
So the car, sorry to interrupt. The car zone in Dubai would be what's that place?
You've got-
Morur.
No. So you've got Souk Al Haraj in Sharjah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've got Ras Al Khor in Dubai.
Yeah.
So in these areas, you'll have a few different sections
Yeah.
where you've got a variety of showrooms. So you'll have an American little block, you'll have a Japanese block,
Yeah.
you'll have German block. And
Yeah.
then you'll get a mixture of everything. It's all there, all split up. And then here in Abu Dhabi, it's not as big, but you've got a place called Motor World in Shamka.
Shamka.
It's a similar thing as Ras Al Khor and Suq Al Haraj, but just not as big.
Can I just say on that Shamka one? I think they're moving to an industrial area not far from Musafa.
Okay.
So last time when I went there, all the shops are kind of closing down, and they're planning to move it to an industrial area close to Musafa. So I think we'll go and check it out one day.
Yeah.
I think what would be good, drop a comment if you think that you want to see that kind of thing. If you'd like us to take you on a journey where we go to one of these places to check out the car scene, or we go to Dubai or Sharjah, let us know. We'll take you on that journey. But they're moving to a commercial area, and it's supposed to be much bigger.
Okay.
And then I was gonna then go on from what you've been talking about. I think for me, what I'd say to anybody who wants to sort of get into cars in the UAE, you've got the new car scene, obviously brand new cars.
Yeah.
Now, for those people that are not into changing up their cars, are not into visiting garages and workshops. There's people who just want to get into a car, drive, get to work, come home, and that's decent. That's not a problem. My advice to you is, go get yourself a brand new car. There's so many out there, and again, it starts from whatever you're looking for. Are you a family? Are you single? Are you looking for a fast car? Are you looking for a reliable car? But if you're gonna, depend on what car you want, we're gonna talk about that later. You've got your reliables, your Nissans and your Toyotas. Everybody knows them worldwide. Those cars will take you forever. They'll go forever, that is. And then if you're not into the brand new kind of car, what I would advise people to do is get into your community groups. So when you come to Dubai, you come to Abu Dhabi, we're currently in Abu Dhabi, you get community groups. So wherever you live, if you're in Dubai, you've got Damak Hills, you've got Damak Hills 2, you've got JVC, you've got all these different places. Get into those groups. Because what tends to happen is that you start to know these people as your neighbors.
Yeah.
And once you know them as your neighbors,
Groups on Facebook, WhatsApp.
yeah,
Yeah.
groups on Facebook and WhatsApp, exactly. Because once you get to know these guys as your neighbors, if Shabazz wants to sell his car, I've seen him driving it. I know Shabazz. I'll go up to him and say, yo, Shabazz, you selling your car? Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm going back to the UK, or whatever the man's doing. I'll know to buy that car because I know Shabazz and I know that he wouldn't have one over me. I know him personally, or I know him as a neighbor, right? I think that's the first port of call I'd say if you're going to buy a car in the UAE. If you're buying a used car, try and get somebody that you know or somebody that is recommended to you.
Yeah.
And if obviously you don't have anybody who's selling a car at that particular time that you need it, then look on places like Marketplace, on the groups that you've got on Facebook, and then go out and see it. But my advice, and Shabazz might come in as well at this point, is my advice is when you go to look at these cars, don't buy the first car you see.
100%.
All right?
It's a typical mistake that most people make. Eh?
Yep.
Buy with your head, not your heart.
Yeah.
Much respect.
Yeah.
Much
Definitely.
respect.
Due diligence.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a must. It's like the car market anywhere in the world, any country in the world. You're gonna get your lemons.
Yeah.
Did you say lemons?
Lemons. Sorry, lemons as in not good. Yeah, not looked after. Yeah, hidden features that you don't want. Yeah, things like that. It's just a matter of doing your research, having a good, thorough look inside, outside, underneath, everywhere. Ideally, take it to a garage, bring it to our place, wherever. We'll get our guys to give it a full diagnostic, electrical check, mechanical check, chassis damage, whatever, just to make sure that you're buying something that's not going to give you a headache 2 days after you've handed your cash over.
So here's a quick question for the audience. Have you bought a car in the UAE, and what was your experience buying that car? So leave a comment, tell us about your story. If it's a good one, give it a shout out, definitely. But yeah, just tell us your story. Let us know what your experience was. Right?
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that. Like Shabazz was saying, like any other country, there are people trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah, of course,
People,
yeah,
there are
yeah,
people trying to get one over you. You know, if I'm ever going to go and buy a car, I will definitely be taking Shabazz. He's a negotiator. He knows how to negotiate. I taught him everything he knows, by the way, but I'm joking. He's a negotiator. My guy knows how to negotiate a good deal. And I think my advice, if you're not confident in that, find somebody who is.
Definitely,
Yeah, find somebody who's confident. And this is the thing about get into your community, get to know people, get to know who's the mechanic, who's the plumber, who's this, that, and the other. Because if you know somebody who's good with cars, then you can say, look, I need your help. I've seen this, that, and the other car. Could you help me? And they'll be able to say, okay, let's go and check this car out. Some cars look beautiful on the outside. And then the other thing that tends to happen, really annoys me, is that people advertise the car when it was still brand new. So you're buying a 2010 car and it looks spotless. It looks spotless.
Yeah.
You go and see this car and the car is a wreck, man.
Yeah,
Don't be fooled by the photos.
Don't be fooled by the photos. Exactly.
Always go and check it out. Make sure that the photos match what's in front of you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so on that note.
Yeah.
So on that note.
Yeah.
If we don't have anybody, like let's say, you see, I know you now, so I can take you and go and we can go look at a car. But if we don't have anybody, what would you recommend? Would you recommend getting a service to come and check the car for you, like an inspection guy, which is what most people would say do. So let's talk about the types of inspections that you get, and then the types of reports that you can get out of it.
So for me, if I was new in this country, I didn't know anyone, I've just got my Emirates ID, I've got my visa status, which you need to have before you buy a car.
Yep.
If I was in that sort of situation and I was fresh, there's a few ways that you can go around to do this. The most sure, so say you don't have a garage guy or a car guy, who knows, who that you're friendly with, that you can't, talk to or take along with you or anything. The most simplest way, straightforward way, is ADNOC service station, or in Dubai you've got the ENOC service station, the Tajils. So alongside the petrol station, you'll have a testing day. So you take the car over there and you tell them to do a full comprehensive test. That works for here in Abu Dhabi, it works over there in Dubai as well. I think the last time I checked, it costs around 450-ish dirhams.
Okay.
So what they will do, they'll take the car in there, they'll do a full inspection on it.
What's 450 dirhams in US dollars or pounds?
So it would be like 120 some change for US dollars?
For dollars, about pounds, about 90-ish pounds.
Yeah.
And they will do a full-on inspection on the car. They'll check the chassis, they'll check the electrics, they'll check the bodywork, they'll check the paintwork, everything that to give you a bit of peace of mind. They will check, and then they'll give you a full-out report. They'll check the mileage as well. That's the other thing that we need to talk about here as well. The mileage. There's a lot of I don't want to say fraud, but
mileage tampering.
There's a lot of mileage tampering.
There's a lot of mileage tampering going on. And so, for example, in the UK, we have a thing called HPI. We have another service called Car Vertical. So you put your details of the car into that database, and it'll give you a full-out report about mileage inconsistencies, crash history, just overall well-being of the car. Here, you do have services that do that, but it's not as thorough. So the only way, from my experience, to check mileage tampering is to take it over to the car testing centres, because here every year a car will go through a test, and every year that mileage is logged. So if a car has gone in, so say for example 1 year it's gone in and it's on 100,000 kilometers, and then the next year it's gone in and it's on 80,000 kilometers. The mileage will be flagged up. On your report sheet, it will be flagged up. It will have an asterisk next to it, or be coloured in red or something. It will be highlighted. That's one of the main ways to check for mileage fraud. But so back to the original thing. So the easiest possible way to do that is just to go to the government bodies there with the Tajil in Dubai and Adnoc here in Dubai. Go there, get checked, they'll give you a full breakdown of it.
And I'm sure there's options as well in the different Emirates, Sharjah,
Yeah.
Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah,
Yeah.
and
Alain, Al Quain.
Al Quain. I always get that one mixed up.
But I was just going to add on to that. There's also accident checks. You can do an accident check.
So accident checks. You have a platform called EVG, Emirates Vehicle Gate. Yeah. So you put in your chassis number of whatever car you're looking at. Click on it, and it'll give you like a breakdown of how many accidents, what kind of speeds, and whatnot. You've got the MOI platform. Again, same thing. Website. Go on it. Put in your chassis number. It'll give you all the information. And then the other one is Abu Dhabi Police. You go on there. Same thing. Chassis number. Click on it, and it'll give you a breakdown.
Yeah.
But one thing I do need to mention is every little knock. So, say for example, you're in a shopping car park, and a trolley hits it, and the person is really fussy, and they phone the police. That's logged down as an accident.
Yep.
So everything from that to a complete write-off and everything in between is an accident. So when you do go on these websites and you do get that information, it's not as precise as it could be. It's very vague. Yeah, but it's just to give you an idea of what kind of accident history the car has got.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll have pictures, sometimes they don't.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit random.
And you know what? 450 dirhams is nothing compared to like a 40,000 damage which the car could have.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you'd rather pay that money
At the
for peace
beginning.
of mind.
Yeah.
Make sure you're making the right purchase.
On the flip side, so if you do have a garage or a car guy that you are familiar with, that you know, most garages will do these same checks. Exactly what the Adnoc and the Tajil will do. Most garages, as far as I know, they will do the exact same checks, and they might not give you a report. They'll probably tell you verbally, and some will even give you a full-on report. But yeah, you can do that as well.
And then sometimes I think just a warning on that is just be careful, guys. You'll get, a guy like somebody will be like selling their car, and they'll be like, no, don't worry, I'll get my mechanic to check it out for you. Obviously, if it's his mechanic, he'll tell the mechanic to tell you everything that you want to hear.
Yeah.
So I think just be very careful. Get your own mechanic. Yeah, you do your mechanic's check. That's cool. Thank you for doing that for me. But I'm going to go and do it on my own terms.
Yes.
Go to your own place where you're like, okay, I'm going to take this Adnoc garage, and they're going to check it out for me. Because then you've got your own peace of mind. And also, don't buy a car when you're on your way to the airport about to leave for the UK, and then you do a quick buy. Oh yeah, I need a car. Yeah, it's good. Let me take it. No. Guys, when you're going to buy a car, take your time.
100%.
You know what? And this is where you go back to that whole saying: if it's meant to be yours, it will come to you. If it's yours, it will come back to you. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, you're going to buy something, and it's going to cause you more stress than it's worth. That's my advice.
One last thing just on that. I would say even if you're not into your cars, car nowadays is a necessity.
Yeah.
Even if you're not into your cars, just if you find a good mechanic or a good car guy or just any business that you trust, that you form some kind of relationship with,
Keep them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Keep them.
And these communities that we're talking about earlier on, the community that you live in, they're very good for that, because I used to live in Tamakils too in Dubai, and you'd go on there and you go, guys, any recommendations for this? And that's the other thing, recommendations are good. Sometimes your Google reviews, just be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no more about that. I'm not an expert, but what I'd say is, your reviews, your personal reviews. So if I'm going to ask D over here, D, I'm looking for a good garage, and he's going to obviously tell me 6-gear garage, and he will tell me, look, I've been there, I've sent my car there, I know the mechanics, they're really good, they're efficient. I will believe that, whereas if I go online, there's going to be 150 garages, are all going to have 5-star, and to choose one of those is potluck, and you go on there and you try it, and you find that you're really, really sad. So just be careful when you choose the right garage for yourself. It's better to get somebody who's taken their car there frequently because they'll give you, their own experience.
Yeah. And on another note, if you have nobody to talk to, or you don't know,
Because you're
anybody-
lonely like that. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
well, let's just say you're new to the country, right? And you've just bought a car, and you don't know where to take it to service, right? Go around to a couple of garages wherever you are, right? Get them to look at it, inspect it. I mean, some of them are going to charge, some of them are not going to charge, but just be careful on that part. But it's always good to have a second opinion. You don't always go to the first guy. The first guy tells you 15,000.
Then you take it.
Yeah. You're gonna take it, right? So always good to get a second opinion. If it costs, maybe like sometimes a garage will charge you like 100 dirhams, 150, 200, and so forth, But always good to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would go even as far as say third, fourth, fifth opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
All day, yeah.
I think be thorough. When you're buying a used car, be thorough. There's like Shabbat said, there's a lot of lemons out there. I love that term actually.
Definitely.
I like that term.
And in terms of the car market, right, with the used car scene, 50% of them, or a good percentage of them, are GCC.
Yeah.
So what about the
Good
cars that are coming out from the States, Canada,
Japan.
Japan, or,
So-
etc. So what should we look out for those cars that have been imported?
That's a good question.
So for me, like this topic, what you've just touched on now,
Yeah.
for me coming here, it was like eye opener. Because like coming from the UK, it's just everything
UK market.
is made there.
Yeah.
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 And whatever is imported is imported through the factory and it's there, and you buy it from the showroom or whatever.
You don't need to look for anything
It's
else.
not,
Yeah.
Very few people import from Japan. There is a Japanese import market, I think, early 2000-ish, late 90s. Loads of people were importing from Japan, GTR, Supras, all sorts, all mad cars. But yeah, on the whole, the cars what are there are from there.
Yeah.
So coming here, you've got cars from everywhere.
Yeah.
They're coming from America, they're coming from Canada, they're coming from Mexico, they're coming from Europe, they're coming from Japan, they're coming from Korea, China even.
Yeah.
We're going to touch on that in a minute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So basically all over the world. So you've got a mix of everything. And then on top of them, you've got your GCC cars. That's Gulf countries specific cars. So made for these countries.
Yeah.
Specifically
Why?
in the Middle East.
Why?
Yeah, Middle East region.
Can you just explain to me why is
So
it GCC?
from my understanding, they are made with components that are suited for this kind of climate.
And also bigger, intake manifolds and
Bigger intake manifolds.
Able to deal with the heat, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Yeah.
had our weather the last week was
40,
record high,
40, 50
51,
degrees,
52
yeah,
degrees,
yeah.
and it's not even summer yet, guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, they'll come with certain pipes what are more durable.
Yeah.
They'll take the heat. They
Yeah.
won't crack.
Yeah.
Some will come with double radiators. Some will come with extra fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to keep the cooling
cooling down.
going. And everything.
Yeah.
But saying that at the same time, in America, you've got it's plenty hot there. It's not cold. Well, you've got all your seasons there, but in certain parts of America, it is 40,
It's very
50
hot.
degrees, yeah?
Yellowstone is hot like nobody's
Yeah.
business. Yeah.
So there's a good mix of everything. On the other side, a lot of the cars, now this is not a myth, this is reality. There's a lot of cars, majority of the cars I would say, that come from US, Canada, Mexico. Yeah, they've been involved in crashes. Yeah, when they do land here, they are sold for cheaper than GCC cars and Japanese cars and European cars, solely because of that. So if you are looking to buy a bargain American import, do your checks.
Just on that note, right? We had a car recently. We won't mention the customer's name, but we had a car in our garage. It was a Mercedes-Benz that was bought from US
Yes,
or
yeah, yeah,
Mexico.
yeah, the white one, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Mexico.
So the owner is a good guy, right? But we're not going to mention his name or whatever.
Yeah.
He bought the car,
No.
didn't realize that the car had been in a major accident.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
We did the inspection at our garage. We went under the car, we saw massive weldings on the front end. Engine has been redone, definitely. Some radiator damage, some bumper damage as well. But yeah, it's just that's a US or Canadian spec.
It was a Mexican.
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 Yeah. Well, basically Mexico will get like from the factories from US and Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from that region.
From that region.
America, North America.
So it's just always good to make sure, do a proper inspection on a imported car, especially from with an American spec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree, man.
So moving on from this,
Yeah.
if I do my inspection, if I like the car and I want to buy the car, how do I go through that process of buying that car?
Give me the money, and then I'll buy it.
Give me the money. Here's your keys. See you later.
Okay, so on that note, right? How do I get the car onto my name? What's the process that I need to go through in terms of licensing, insurance? I mean, because you can't drive the car without insurance in this country.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
So that's a big thing. That you can't drive a car without insurance
And you can't, like in other countries, won't mention places, but in other countries, you bought a car, you've not registered it, you can drive it on the roads because there's not many CCTV cameras and all this. Over here, you cannot drive a car on the roads as long as it's not registered or it doesn't have number plates on it. Do not dare do that because the fine is going to make you go crazy.
You're not just fine, you're going to get jailed.
You get jailed for it.
Yeah.
So,
because these UAE cameras, they don't only just look at the car or the person inside, they look at your hopes and dreams as well. so
they look at your hopes and dreams.
Literally.
Definitely.
But yeah, so you've got to make sure before you put it on the road. If you've not made sure that you've registered it or it's registered, do not put it on the road. Put it on a bed, on a truck, and let them take it to an inspection area. Don't think, I'm just driving it to the inspection area, so I will drive it. No. Put it on a truck, let them take it to the inspection area, let them go to the inspection area, get the inspection done, and then after you've got the inspection done, register it, get your license plate, and then, we'll go further into that detail, but I just wanted you to be sure. Please do not drive on the road if you're not sure whether the car is properly registered, because the fines over here are insane, and obviously also you risk going to jail. It's not worth it.
Okay, so what would be step one? If I'm ready to purchase the car, I'm giving the money to...
No.
Okay.
You're not giving the money.
You're
not giving the money. You're not giving the money. You're giving the money right at the end. Yeah. You never give the money at the beginning. In any purchase.
And also, what about negotiations before we actually get to giving the money?
Yeah.
Should we negotiate? Because I remember talking about other things that are not car related. I remember somebody saying to me, when you come to the UAE, somebody gives you a price of, I'm buying this glass for 300 dirhams. Go down by a third and tell him, listen, or rather, give him a third of the price and say, I'll give you 100 dirhams. And then he'll say, no, brother, it's not too much. No, it's too much. He'll come down to 250, then tell him, okay, I'll go to 120. He'll come down to 20. Is that the case? What do you think?
For me, personally, I love it. Bartering is part of the culture here.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, you do.
You just go on with anything. I'm not just talking about cars. I'm talking about
anything.
Anything really.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to
Not
walk.
supermarket.
You're not going to walk into a supermarket and start haggling over an apple. Yeah.
No.
I'm not talking about that. Yeah, but it's a cultural thing over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just talk and build a bit of a rapport with somebody and just obviously any negotiation, you go low, they go high. You meet somewhere in the middle.
Do you know what, guys? This man here, right? I've known this man for a minute and a half. Yeah. I've gone to buy cars with him in the past. No word of a lie. Yeah. Sometimes I'm standing there, gritting my teeth, wanting to just buy the thing. Let's move, man. And the man, he loves it so much. You can tell he's finding joy in this. I'm standing there like grabbing my, just like, let's go, bro. And the man is like, so, brother, come on, meet me halfway. This is Shabbat. Brother, meet me halfway. Yeah? Brother, come on, bro. I'm like, let's go, bro. You know what I mean? This guy.
It has to be done. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Part of the fun. It's part of the whole. Don't be put off in terms of buying a car or buying anything. Enjoy the process.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
Go and have fun.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
like, you're not there to buy that car specifically. Fair enough. If you like it and it goes through, fine.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, there's plenty of choice out there.
Absolutely.
You know, there's
Absolutely.
don't get fixated on one thing. Like I said at the beginning, don't buy with your heart, buy with your head.
So, coming back to step one.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Coming back to step one. Right?
Step one. So step one, you find a car that you like, phone the person up, go and see it, test drive it.
Obviously, do your inspections and stuff.
Obviously, yeah, what we just talked about. Do your inspection and everything. Once everything's all good, you start talking about price. You agree on a price. Yeah. Once the price has been agreed, then the first thing is to take it over to a testing center. So in the UK, we have something called the MOT. It's like a yearly test where your car is tested for emissions, tire pressures, brakes, generic stuff. Yeah. Similar here. So I'm buying a car off you, for example. We've agreed everything. We go over to the testing center. We put it through a test. Now you've got two different levels of tests. 2 or 3, I think it is. I think it's 2. So one is just your normal one, just a normal test, just a basic test where checking brakes, tires, whatever. And then the other one is the comprehensive one, which I mentioned earlier, which is more detailed. Once that's done, the car will get put onto the database that is getting ready for transfer to a new owner. Then you'll go upstairs to the office upstairs, or it might be on the ground floor. I don't know. I'm just thinking of one specific one.
So just on that, the turnaround for the database, it's immediate, right?
Immediate, straight away. It just depends on the queue of how many people are in there and what place you're in the queue, but yes, straight away.
Once it also depends on the test center. There are some that are more busy than the others. There's some that are, obviously less busy.
Yeah. So once that's gone through, you go inside the office, you get your token, you wait for your turn, you get called over. So on one side you'll have the seller, one side you'll have the buyer. And you'll be talking to a government official on the other side. He'll be there on his computer doing his thing, and he'll take both your Emirates IDs, put them into his computer thing, and the transfer will go through. Once that transfer has gone through, before that transfer has gone through, you do your insurance. So you phone your insurance guy or whoever you've got to do your insurance. All done online. They'll put it through. They'll send you your cover note insurance document on your WhatsApp or email or whatever. Once that's done, it'll be automatically put onto the database. Only then you can do the actual transfer of ownership. Once that's done, we'll go back, put the Emirates IDs, transfer's done, and that's when you hand over your money. Before that, never hand over your money to no one, not even a deposit.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And also coming back to the insurance thing, some test centers, I think all test centers have, if you don't want to go online, because obviously you've got the go compare type of situation online. But if you don't want to go online, there's also some insurance companies that will be littered around the test center. So you can go up to one of these guys and say, I'm buying a car, I need an insurance. They'll quote you on your third party and they'll quote you on your fully comprehensive.
So on that, can you do either? Can you do a comprehensive or can you do a third party?
It depends on your pocket, man.
It's up to you.
It depends on your pocket, because the third party is a lot cheaper.
But right? It will be cleared with either, right?
It will be cleared with either. The one thing, obviously I'm not an insurance guy, but I just want you to know the third party, is when you get involved in an accident, it probably won't, it will not cover you, it will cover the other person, the third party involved in the insurance. So you have to take care of your own, whatever issue has happened with your car. Obviously, fully comprehensive is brilliant, because your car is covered, the people in the car, the other car is covered if you're in the wrong, and the people in that car as well. And also, I could borrow Shabaz's car if it's fully comprehensive, as long as I'm driving it and it's fully comprehensive. it's good. But if it's third party,
No, you can do that anyway. You can do that anyway.
Can you do that with
Yeah,
third party?
You can do, the only major difference is between a fully comp and a third party is it'll have a few less features. So, say for example, it might not have recovery on the roadside breakdown.
Right.
It might not have battery replacement. It might not have tire repair or something.
Okay.
Yeah, small things like that. But the main difference between a fully comprehensive and a third party is fully comp. If you crash, if it's your fault or if it's the other person's fault, whatever, you are covered. You've got no issues.
Yeah.
With a third party, if it's your fault, you're liable.
Yeah. And you.
Yeah. But with both, you can drive anyone. The way it works here compared to UK, if, for example, in the UK, if a car is insured, it's only insured to a specific driver. Nobody else can drive it unless they're insured on it. Here, if a car is insured, and so say for example, if my car is insured, Z can drive it, you can drive it. As long as you've got a license, UAE license, you can drive it. There's no issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in South Africa, it's a bit different if you have a comprehensive insurance. Obviously, there's an excess part as you as the driver or the driver listed on the insurance.
Yeah.
But in most cases, anybody can drive your car. Should they meet an accident, the excess is actually much higher than your previous excess.
Yeah.
But it's not required to have insurance to drive in the road in South Africa. You don't have to have insurance. But UAE is obviously, I mean, it's all about road safety.
Yeah.
You know,
It's protecting
it's
everybody.
not just about you, it's about the driver next to you. Yeah.
When you're new in the UAE, it's quite hair raising driving on the roads. That's what I'm going to say about that.
Right, so that brings us to my
I'm not
next
saying
topic.
I would say
This is the fun topic, right? And Z, you can attest to this, given your recent experience. Fines in the UAE.
It's at this point.
Let's keep it for driving only, right? Fines for driving in the UAE.
Can I leave now?
No. You stay. Right?
Oh my God.
Right, my wife's going to be watching this. And if I start mentioning some of these numbers, I'm not going to be allowed back in the house.
All of our wives, bro.
No, listen. Okay, so guys, the UAE is great. You know, it's fantastic. There's no tax over here. It's brilliant. I tell you what, they got them fines, man. They got them fines, man. You breathe wrong, man, you get fined. Anyway, no, on a serious note, they will fine you. And now the camera systems that they've got on these roads are next level. The next level. I'm talking next level. Because they can even they got a law a few years ago that said you cannot eat behind the wheel. You're not allowed to have your burger and eat while you're driving. You're obviously not allowed on your phone. Your seatbelt's got to be on. They've got a camera that will give you a fine if you don't have your seatbelt on, if you're eating behind the wheel, if your mobile phone is in your hand, whether you're using it or you're not. They will fine you. They will fine you for speed. And the one thing, talking about speed, there's obviously you've got two main sort of places in the UAE. You've got Dubai, you've got Abu Dhabi. There are other places, other smaller areas, but these two are the places that are really well known in the world. Dubai has got a buffer. So if you see a speed limit in Dubai and it says 80 kilometers, you've got a 20-kilometer buffer on there. That means...
Sorry guys, just on that, it's not only Dubai. There's 6 Emirates that have that same buffer.
That's it. Oh yeah.
The only Emirate that does not have the buffer
is Abu Dhabi.
Is Abu Dhabi. Carry on.
The buffer is everywhere apart from Abu
Dhabi. So the buffer is everywhere apart from Abu Dhabi. So that means you've got 20 kilometers above the speed limit that you see on the roads. If you go over that by 1 kilometer, I'm not even joking, 1 kilometer, you're done. You're done. The fine.
You get that flash.
You got a ting, and then you smile for the camera, yo.
And then you got frozen.
Exactly. You know.
There were times where it's like paparazzi.
It's not that kind of paparazzi.
No, man.
Paparazzi.
So, and also the Dubai fines are about 600 dirhams.
Yeah, they're heavy.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
600 dirhams.
Yeah.
The Abu Dhabi fines are a little bit less.
But they're more frequent.
Abu Dhabi fines, I'm telling you, you get fined. There's one road, they changed the speed limit. So what are you laughing for?
Tell them how do you know that information about that one road?
What are you laughing for?
Please tell.
He got 2 flashes in a row.
Okay, well,
Right next to each other.
Listen, don't pay attention to this.
Sorry, go on,
Can I just tell my story?
Go on. Sorry.
I want to tell my story, man. So, guys, there's one road here. They changed the speed limit on this road. It used to be 120, man. My guy used to love driving on that road. 120, boom. Because it's Abu Dhabi, you make sure you don't go over 120. It'd be good. One thing as a tip for myself and everybody else is get a car with cruise control.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, that will help you so much. Because if it's 120, if you put it on 115, just leave it there. You're good to go. Anyway, my guy decides one day, I'm going to drive in it. I'm going to go meet my guy Shabazz. I was actually coming to meet you.
All right, okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm still not paying for it.
Is that right?
I'm not.
Anyway, I was going to meet Shabazz, yeah. So I've got on this road. I am blasé. I'm totally oblivious to this thing. I'm driving along. I'm doing my 120. My guy phones me up. I'm thinking, is there somewhere where it's burning? See, what's going on? See, what's going on? I'm like, whoa, what's up, Shabazz? You just got 2 fines, bro. You got 2 fines. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, where were you driving? Anyway, I thought about it, and then I remembered that road has changed from 120 to 100. They gave me 2 fines in the same road. So don't think just because one place has flashed you. You know, it's like some countries you've got a roadblock. So if you get a ticket over here, you can show the next guy on the next roadblock. Say, they've already given me a fine for my light that's not working. Over here, they will keep fining you and fining you and fining you and fining until you get home. So your fines are going to keep accumulating until you get home. And if I tell you the amount of money I've spent on fines, I think my wife might divorce me, so I'm not going to say that.
We're all in that same boat.
For real, man. So fines here are big, guys. And honestly, just be careful. I know one lady who actually got an award from the Sheikh for having 15 years. They actually give you an award. 15 years driving in the UAE and not getting one single fine.
Wow.
One single fine. I used to work with her. I used to work with her in my old
You know
school.
the woman?
I know the woman.
Wow, okay.
She told me about it. They actually gave her an award because she had done that. So look, you know, that's something, that's an incentive for those of you that, you know, drive carefully like me. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Let's move on.
So wait, on that note, right? You know, as expats, depending on the country and where your license is from, you don't really need to go through that entire process of learning the road rules again. You just have to change your license.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you're not clued up as to what the road rules are in terms of fines and you know, like a ridiculous fine that I've got was illegal lane change. Like getting into
Endpoints.
and on them.
Endpoints. Yep.
Yeah, endpoints. Also, here's a weird one. I got a fine for my car being too dirty.
Yep.
Right?
That's the thing. That's the thing over here.
Yeah.
That's the
In
thing.
the UAE, the law is your car cannot. You have to be able to see out of your windows. If your car is very dirty, they're gonna flag it right away because obviously the UAE, you know, they want to keep a very good image of the country, and it's very clean. I mean, you look at the streets, it's very clean. Mind the dust here and there, it is the desert. But in terms of our cars, we need to keep it clean.
Absolutely.
It is the law.
It is the law.
It is the law.
It is the law. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of the weirdest fines that I got was the car not being clean.
Do you know what I've seen over here now? Yeah, you mentioned about being able to see, to keep your car clean, so you need to be able to see. I've seen cars here, yeah, that are so tinted, so tinted. And I'm not just talking around the sides and the back. I'm talking about the front windscreen.
Yeah.
Tinted, blacked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't see anything.
You can't see
inside.
nothing.
Yeah.
Daytime, fair enough. You know, you've got bright sunshine. You know, you can make do. But at night time, I think to myself,
How do you see?
how are you driving? That's hazard. Surely that's hazard.
I think the thing is, one thing a friend of mine did a tent just a few weeks ago. A few months ago, just when they came from the UK. And we went to this bloke. There's a tint that they put. It's dark, but when you're inside, when you look out, you actually can see quite clearly. But when you're outside, you cannot see anything on the inside. So I suppose it's about getting a really, really, really good tint. If you get a really good tint, you'll be able to do that. And I think also another thing that we've got to be mindful of is over here. It's a big culture. The ladies here obviously cover themselves up, and a lot of the ladies when they drive, obviously they just want to take the covering off their heads, so they don't want to be seen with that. So they will sort of tint their cars up just so that they don't get seen.
Yeah.
So I think we've got to be respectful of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the fines now, how do we pay them?
You're not letting go of these fines.
I know, bro. This guy's like
it's probably the biggest thing with driving in the UAE.
true.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
True.
And we have to talk about it because
Also, points. You need to talk about
yes,
points.
there's certain things like with speeding.
Yes.
I think your double speeding would have caught like -8 points,
Minus
-10
8
points.
No, for speeding you don't get points. So you'll get points for seatbelt.
Yeah.
You'll get points for
Phone.
dangerous driving. You'll get points for running a red light.
Mobile phone.
Yeah, mobile phone.
Yep.
Yeah, you get points for things like this.
And how many points?
On that road for note for running a red light, I've just seen a post today on one of the groups on Facebook. This lady and her husband, I would say, they mistakenly went over the red line. They've got an impound,
Yeah.
Yep.
right?
A friend of mine just
Minus
had it.
20
Yeah.
black points,
Yeah.
That's it.
right? And so the impound fine plus the fine for crossing the red light,
Yeah.
How many points?
minus
Minus
15 or 20, one of those two, yeah.
That's crazy. And the total that you can have subtracted is 24 per year.
Yeah.
So if you get 24, your license gets taken away from you.
Yeah.
And you can't drive.
Yeah.
So please be careful about that.
Yeah. Be very
All right.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so in terms of paying for the fines, how do we pay for the fines? Can we, there is a way that we can attest those fines, go to court or...
Yeah. You like with anything, you can challenge them,
Yeah,
but they're very rarely wrong.
yeah.
They're very, very wrong because it's a camera, isn't it?
Yeah, and to actually challenge them, it's a long process. It can get costly depending on how far you take it. So yeah, more often than not, I would say don't get fined, and if you do, pay it. Just move on, learn from it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and I think again, we talk a lot about the reason why we're in the UAE is because we love living here and we love it. It's a country that works. Why do I say it works? You've got apps for everything.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So when you, I think we'll probably make a list of all the apps on the YouTube channel for those of you that want them. But make sure you've got certain apps. If you live in Dubai, make sure you've got Dubai Police app.
Yep.
If you live in Abu Dhabi, make sure you've got TAM, TAMM. MOE, which is Minister of Interior. Those apps will show you everything about your life. That's when you realize everybody, the people that need to know about you, because everything that you need is on there. Your visa, your ID card, your license, the number of cars that you own, your fines, which you can pay on there as well.
Yeah.
And also how many black points you've earned, and stuff like that. So get certain apps on your system.
We don't earn black points.
No, well,
You're making it sound like a reward.
it's a fun thing, bro. Come on, you earn them. The more you get, the better it is. No, that's the shopping points I'm thinking about.
Okay, yeah,
you earn those, man.
Tesco Club card.
The Tesco Club card. That's what I'm thinking about.
And so it's very easy to get those fines sorted out.
Yeah.
Payment
Payment-wise,
is never an issue
problem.
with any.
No.
Yeah. When you need to pay,
The money.
they're there with open arms for you.
Yes.
All right. So lastly, if we're going to go back to the cars now. Give your recommendations on where people can go and look for a car, where to buy one. Give what your experiences in terms of the places that you bought the car, like Dubizzle, for example. I mean, we are always checking Dubizzle for deals. So just give your input on Dubizzle, give your input on some other guys like Cars. I think it was Cars 24.
24. Yeah.
Cars 24.
Yeah, so Cars 24 is just basically it's a online platform, car supermarket.
Car supermarket, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For me personally, I've never bought from showrooms, not here anyway, and I've only ever bought from private sellers, so off Dubizzle, off Facebook Marketplace. There's a couple of other platforms, but they're not as big. You've got OpenSouk.
Yeah, OpenSouk is actually up and coming there. The Bizzle's direct competitor.
Yeah,
Right.
but they don't have the reach or the audience as Dubizzle has.
Not yet.
What's the other one? There's Car Switch. That's another one.
Car Switch, yeah.
They do a similar thing. They'll come out, they'll inspect your car, and then they'll advertise.
I think it's there's also another one, Kavak.
Kavak, yeah,
Yeah, Kavak, yeah.
that one as well. There's loads of platforms, but for me personally, I wouldn't go in blind like that. I would, like Z said earlier, join your local community groups. Find somebody who has been recommended through someone that you know, through
Yes.
a chain or some kind.
Yeah.
And that would ideally be the best way for me. Just remember, like in this country, the population is always moving, it's always shifting. There's
people coming
there's
in
a
all
whole
the
lot of
time.
people going, and there's a whole lot of people coming. So there are a lot of bargains to be had throughout the year. Yeah,
That's
what I'd
right.
say, yeah.
Basically, I was also going to say that if you cannot find, again, just repeating what we said earlier, try and find a mechanic through your local groups.
Yeah.
So that you've got a friend. Mechanics are a friend. Get somebody that you can trust. So that you know, like we say, tell a friend to tell a friend.
I've
ask a
heard that
friend.
for a while.
You know what I mean? Tell a friend to tell a friend, bro. It's important. But seriously, ask somebody to recommend you to a mechanic, and that person will be your go-to person. Because once you've got that, you've got peace of mind. Because they've been recommended by somebody you trust. You know what I mean?
Also, just a quick one. We skipped it before, but the EV market here.
Yeah.
So electric cars,
Electric cars.
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. You've got obviously your Teslas, which everyone knows, but then alongside them, you've got
The Chinese.
the world of choice of Chinese manufacturers.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and some of the kit that you get on them, they will put Teslas to shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, choice is endless.
Exactly. I mean, with those new cars, obviously they're not tested on the used car market, so
Yeah,
we can't really talk much about that.
Yeah.
But as brand new cars are there,
the choice is there.
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Just a couple of experiences I've read about with people that I don't know so much about BYD and etc. But with Teslas, the batteries are one of the first things to go.
Yeah.
And a battery replacement can go up to $40,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or
that's-
not.
that's just something to.
Yeah, believe it or not, I've seen on Dubizzle and Facebook Marketplace, I've seen Tesla Model 3s, so the smaller ones. Yeah, I'm presuming they're going to be X taxis.
Yeah.
Going for like 40,000 dirhams, which in pounds is what, 8,000 pounds for a Model 3 2020 model. Cheap.
Cheap. Yeah.
Obviously, like you're saying, the battery is going to have.
You have to be.
There's going to be
There's going to be
underlying
something.
issue. Yeah.
That's
It's gonna
it.
be for replacing about 100. So if it's $40,000,
Yeah.
about 120,
120.
130 maybe.
Yeah, 130,000 dirhams. Yeah.
Yeah, just to be aware on that with the Teslas. But the BYDs, I mean, most of them are coming straight from the showroom. So you're gonna get the showroom deals, you're gonna get the warranties, you're gonna get. I think some of them got unlimited mileage.
That's right.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy warranties.
Yeah.
10 years, million miles.
Yeah.
Ridiculous,
Ridiculous
warranties
stuff.
that they
Yeah.
And plus, BYD, it's not originally a car manufacturer.
Yeah.
They manufacture how they've got onto the map is they are lithium-ion battery manufacturers. That was their first thing. Then they started making cars. So you can take it there, batteries are going to be good. I'm not giving a to shout out to BYD or anything, but that's just
A little
yeah.
background story. Now,
So for the last topic, right? Before we end the stream, any car scene things that are happening in the near future that we can attend, like car events. Obviously, I mean, in December we've got Formula One.
That's what November.
That's the
November time,
racing.
November, December. Yeah.
No, that's December 3rd, I think it is.
Yeah.
December 3rd. But in the season for the car shows are starting, right?
Yeah.
In I think it's October.
September, October.
Soon as
So,
they get-
so it's winter time. So over here, obviously, right now we're getting into summer. That's why we're talking about temperatures.
We're in summer.
Yeah, we're in summer. So
We're deep in summer.
50 degrees Celsius is commonplace. And when you get, and this hour is going to go into this before we go into the car seat, because we're getting into summer, guys. Just a bit of advice on what you guys need to be aware of. All right, there are a few things. So first of all, you're driving your car, you get to work or you're at home. Always try to leave your window just a little bit open. The good thing about this country is that it's very, very safe. So always leave your window slightly open, just about that much. Don't close it all the way up, because obviously the rubbers get so hot, and if it gets too hot, sometimes it can melt onto the window.
Yeah.
The other thing that is really good practice, and a lot of us don't do it because we just don't have time, is your window wipers. Okay, try not to leave them on the windscreen when you leave your car parked in the direct sun. If you can lift them up, you'd save yourself having to change windscreen wipers, because that, again, the wipe on the windscreen gets extremely hot, and that rubber just goes very quickly, or actually melts onto depending on how long you're gonna leave it in the sun, obviously, for it to melt. So just be careful of that. And then another thing, please do not leave aerosol cans, do not leave perfumes, deodorant, anything that, don't leave even something like crisp packet, because what happens with crisp, obviously they won't burn, but because of the heat, they will get bigger and they will inflate and it will burst. But more so aerosol cans, if you leave them in the car, they will burst, they could cause a fire.
Yeah.
And then when you come into the car from a hot place, if you're going to work or you're coming from work, if you can start your car and leave it running for 10 minutes with the AC on, that'll be great, because when you get in the car, it's a lot cooler. But if you don't have that opportunity, please be careful of the buckle, the belt buckle, the silver part. The number of times I've burnt myself on that, my kids have burnt themselves on that, is numerous. So you want to be careful when you're buckling that in. It's going to be extremely, extremely hot. So just be careful of that as well. And then lastly, please be checking your coolant. That's nothing you don't need. You don't need to take that to a garage. Just check your coolant. If you don't know how to do that, we're gonna run a little video tutorial on how to check your coolant. Simple things like check your tire pressure. Make sure your tire's up to date, because that's another thing that they're very, very keen on over here when you take it for inspection. Your tires cannot go over. They can go over 2 years, but ideally you're supposed to have your tires for 2 years, and then after that you're supposed to get new tires. All right. If they go over 2 years, they start being a problem, because you can imagine this is very hot. You're driving in the heat, the last thing you want is to get a tire burst. Okay, so just be careful of that. But yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say is that.
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of our stream, everybody. Thank you so much for putting in. If you are new to the UAE, I hope this information will be valuable to you. If you're in Abu Dhabi and you're looking for a garage, give us a shout.
6-gear garage, baby.
Our email is on the channel. Just hit us an email, we'll get it straight to you. You can bring your car into our shop as well. If you need help with inspections or servicing, we got your back.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hope you enjoyed the stream. Leave a comment, and we'd love to hear your feedback. And hopefully, I think this was a good first live stream. I think we're gonna do it again.
We have technical difficulties at the beginning, but we're learning as we're going along.
Definitely.
And your comments would be very welcome.
Yes.
But I said, be kind to me. Don't be kind to those two, but be kind to me. Just be kind with your comments. Yeah. Just let us know how we can improve it. What information you guys are looking for.
Yeah.
What you'd like us to touch on. If you want us to feature certain things,
Yep.
let us know. We're here for you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just going to read, we've got a few comments. So SF, so this is the characters, right? SF RZ says, nice video lads, really impressed with your knowledge. Thank you very much. We tried. We've got a few claps, and Sean Wharton said, should I move or don't move? Love the stream, gents. We appreciate you, brother.
Cheers, Sean. Nice one, mate. Yep.
So if you're in the UAE, don't move. I mean, it's a great country.
Yeah.
If you want to move to the UAE, move, bro. And then we've got one of your students, saying Mr. Z. And then I think, yeah, Shabs, you got a fan?
All right.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's your wife. And the one Neo says, great advice, brother Zishan.
Thank you so much, man. Much respect.
So thank you guys for pulling in, watching, and subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe as well.
Anything we've missed?
Anything we missed, put it into the comments.
Yeah.
And when we're doing another stream,
Yes.
we'll try and put it in as well.
Absolutely.
Right? So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend or week ahead. And stay safe out of this heat. Drink lots of water.
Yep.
And take care.
And then tell a friend to tell a friend. You get me? Nice one, thanks.